Welcome back to another edition of the CEO's blog. It's a huge edition, John. We start off talking about the young and the old.
The young and the old, and we'll start with the old. And it's great to see guys like Cole Thomas, Harry Martin, Normie Abood. They're seasoned trainers and they're having successes on the track in the last fortnight. So it just shows that with our sport, and we'll move to the young, that the longevity of the player is there. And the entry point is at a young age as well.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of young drivers coming through the ranks, and they've certainly been dominating lately. And there was one race in particular at Newcastle last week where they dominated.
Yeah, a lot of people think that concession drivers aren't getting enough opportunities or aren't being used enough. Race 2 at Newcastle last week, 9 horses only in the race, but 8 were driven by concession drivers. So, but we keep stats on this week in, week out, and they're everywhere. We've got young Cody Rauschenberger in Queensland. She's a talented young driver. She's up there showing how good she can go, and she drove a double the other night. And then we get to what is the latest, and the latest is, of course, Grace Pennella having her first trial the other day. So it's just there. So.
Yeah, no, they're all coming through. And Josh Gallagher, our rising star for this year, recently reached 100 wins as well, so he's going to quickly outdrive his claim.
Yes, and the talented drivers will outdrive the claim. He hit 100. Chasing right behind him, of course, is Jack Callahan, and he hit 50. So given the opportunity, these kids have got some real talent. And whilst we want the older people in the sport and we encourage them to be in the sport, and it's their hobby, these young guys really, and girls, need to have an opportunity where they can.
Well, just talking about some of our veterans, Harry Martin, he's trained 11 winners this season, and he's rising 79 in a couple of months, and he won with Double Encounter at Menangle on Saturday night. And Normie Abood of the Scorpion King fame, he's rising 84.
Well, I didn't think you were going to mention that, and for you, Cole Thomas, you're rising something, but you're rising every day, and that's what counts. And it's their hobby, it's their passion, and this great sport that we have, and we'll encourage them wherever we can.
Exactly. Well, talking about driving feats and training feats, Lenny Clement trained his first Quinella at Wagga last night.
Now, I don't think Lenny's in the old age category yet, or the elder age category yet, but yeah, that was a really good, his first Quinella ever, and what was really important for us in that, the horse was bred by Jimmy Webb. Now, those people have lost track of Jimmy. Jimmy's doing well, although he's a paraplegic after that horrific accident that he had at the Bankstown track several years ago now. But it was Jimmy would have been punching the air as best he could and celebrating that win. So well done, Lenny, and we're thinking of you too, Jimmy.
Yeah, that horse was Jack's last hoorah. This is a nice name there.
Well, Jack, Jack was Jimmy's father, Jack Webb. He had Bayard Boy, a champion of his time, a very good free-for-aller at least. So it's about our industry, and it keeps going on.
Yeah, well, Rodney Coeli, he also trained a Quinella at Wagga last night in the 2-year-old fillies race, and that was his first win for the season. Yes,
well, keep trying, and the win will be there.
Yeah, well, talking about good luck, Graham Betts, he's had a turn of good luck too.
Well, Graham is finally out of hospital. He spent 2 weeks after that horrific fall that happened on Breeders' Challenge Regional Day down in Wagga. 2 weeks in hospital in Wagga, transferred to Sydney for more treatment, discharged from St George Hospital in Sydney, back home in Bathurst, but he had a winner on Sunday. I hope he was resting, like the doctors said, calmly in bed when that race was run and won. So, Graham, we're thinking of you, the whole industry is thinking of you. Get well soon. 2 major incidents, 2 back fractures in the period of less than a year. It just also demonstrates that our sport can be dangerous.
Well, that winner for Graham was driven by Matty Roo, and the horse is called If He's Lucky.
If he's lucky, well, he was lucky. I've got to say, the two accidents. Graham is always compliant. He had his skull cap on and his vest on, so that helped him. Of course, one was in a race and one was a training accident, so an accident can happen at any time.
Exactly. Let's change the tune, John. Let's talk about hay.
Hay, yes. Now, drought assistance is still ongoing from Harness Racing New South Wales, and people should go to the website to see what's available. But just at the moment, Alabar Alabar Stud have got a very large supply of hay. So if anybody's interested in procuring that hay, it is at a really good price from what we're seeing of all the other purchases. Simply contact Alabar direct, John or Brett Coffey or Tom Galloway, and they'll help you. It will run out, of course. It's not an endless supply, so that is available. Good quality hay, not Lucerne, not Oaten, but a very good quality hay.
Okay, all right, and let's change the tune again. Let's talk about the awards night. Tickets are selling fast.
Very fast. The nominations will come out next week for the horse awards. Of course, the premierships are just about sewn up. And talking about premierships and awards, I'll talk about Wagga awards. They're on the week before ours, and it's a very tight race. Paul Calderfelt, Ellen Bartley and Trevor White. It'll go right down to their very last meeting for the trainer of the year. But yes, ring Kate, find your way to our awards night and have a great night.
Yeah, I know the Newcastle Training Premiership's pretty close as well, between Kerry Ann Morris, Clayton Harmey and Roy Rich Jr. too, so that they've got a couple of meetings left before the end of the season also.
Well, it's great. The competition's really good.
Yeah, exactly. John, on a sad note, we report the passing of Margaret Moorhood.
Yeah, and it's very sad. It's tragic. Margaret unfortunately passed away during the big chill that we experienced a week or so back, and to her husband Ray, who's currently in a convalescent home in Oberon, our sincere and deepest sympathies. Margaret was just a wonderful, beautiful woman that was always at the races, always supporting Ray and his good mate Johnny Bryan with all those great horses. But so sad for somebody to pass away under those circumstances of being caught in the cold.
Yeah, and Margaret and her husband have put a lot of work into setting up the memorabilia room at Bathurst Harness Racing Club. Certainly,
and we honoured John Bryan and Ray Moorhood last year, but we really honoured their wives, Denise and Margaret, when they received the Don Clough Award last year at our awards night. So sad times for the family, and as I say, our deepest condolences from the board, the management and every participant in harness racing on the passing of Margaret Moorhood.
Okay, John, plenty happening. Have you got anything else for this edition?
Not for this edition, but there'll be more next week.
More next week. Well, we'll look forward to it. Thank you for your time as always.
My pleasure, Amanda.